Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We got SKillous going up against HeRoMaRinE in the quarterfinals of the Homestory Cup 24. It's the last quarterfinals. The winner of this match goes up against the winner of Hearthstone and Clem. Spoilers. The winner of this will be going up against Clement. We got a PvT starting us off on hard lead. And let's see, HeRoMaRinE starting off with a singular gas, so not going to be... Never mind, actually getting a second gas here, so starting us off with a pretty darn fast factory. I'm not sure, usually I expect Terrans to go into mines from this, but it could be Cyclones as well at this point. Cyclones seem to be a pretty funny unit right now. SKillous going for the 1 gate, 1 gas. Going to get a core, then I'll get a nexus, you know, standard stuff from SKillous. So let's see what HeRoMaRinE does here. Is it going to be a Reaper, Reactor, Marine? You can do a lot of things here. And he starts up a Reaper, or fires up a Reaper. So we're going to have a pretty fast factory after that. And SKillous, so far, hasn't seen anything, but he does go in. He's like, I'm doing it. I want to see the gases. Oh, SCV pulled off the line. And SKillous actually doesn't confirm how many gases there are. There's only 2 workers in gas right now, so HeRoMaRinE only having that second gas filled up to get that super fast factory. And I expect an immediate reactor. Oh, no reactor. Second Reaper. Okay. On the other side of the map, we do see an Adept being chrono boosted out, rallied over to the... What is this? The Reaper entrance, I suppose. To the main base to make sure that the Reaper doesn't become a Clem Reaper and kill a bunch of probes. And let's see what HeRoMaRinE does. Does have a secondary expansion. And we see a Cyclone coming out from HeRoMaRinE. Okay. So last game we saw from him versus Raynor, he was really all about that Cyclone unit. He was really enjoying himself. We do see a barracks. Okay, second barracks. So perhaps we're looking at a 2-1-1 here, or even a 3 racks type of build. We can't be sure as of yet. We do see a really fast shield battery here. Making sure that any type of Banshee harassment won't do anything, or multiple Reapers coming into his main also won't do anything. We do see super fast Twilight Console, so we could be seeing some DTs, because we don't see a third CC as of yet, so there won't be infinite scans, but of course it's got to be Blink, which is pretty solid for a Protoss player. 2 Reapers trying to get a little bit of scouting done. I don't think you want to jump into your opponent's main base anymore with these Reapers to try and get a probe or 2. Now we do have a Cyclone out on the map, and after that the factory is basically just resigned to add-on duty. Building add-ons for barracks, and we have a 3rd barracks over here. Double tech lab on the barracks, so we're gonna see an engineering bay pretty soon, I think. If he wants to line +1 attack up with these bio upgrades. But he could also just go balls to the wall, no engineering bay at all. SKillous moving out, getting a 3rd base set up here. Currently rocking 2 Adept, 2 Stalker Force, and nothing else. So SKillous has a pretty good read on what's happening in this game. He's not adding on more Stalkers for any Widowmine drop that would be hitting his base by now. Although I expect to see a couple Stalkers just for the fact that he has Blink coming up. And we do have 3 Stalkers already. This Adept sees these Reapers. He's like, nah, don't fight me. Oh, no starport though. What is HeRoMaRinE doing here? We do see an engineering bay finally, but this is so much bio without a starport. No medevacs. And Stim is almost done. Do see a starport coming up right now. So if HeRoMaRinE is to push, which I kind of expect him to do so because there's no 3rd CC, then he's going to be doing that without medevacs, and Stim is almost done, Combat Shield's almost done, and HeRoMaRinE is going to be moving out. With those upgrades, +1 attack is coming, so I kind of expect HeRoMaRinE to just do one stim, try and get as much damage done with that one stim, and then just fall back to his reinforcements and the medevacs and the +1 he will have later, and then go for a follow-up push then. So as you see, being very disciplined here, not using his stim just yet. And the Blink Stalkers, ooh, get a nice pickup on the Cyclone there. Cyclones have a surprisingly low amount of health, and now we do see the stim in from HeRoMaRinE. We do see the nuclear battery, but it gets clicked down right away by HeRoMaRinE. And HeRoMaRinE is targeting down all of these Stalkers. Oh my god, 5 Marauders still left. All of the Stalkers just go down. We do have 1 Marauder coming out and saving the day, basically. HeRoMaRinE does do a lot of damage. Basically, we're setting the entire army of SKillous back to 0. Killing 2 shield batteries as well. SKillous going for Colossus here. I don't think... Yeah, HeRoMaRinE did not see the robotic support bay. So that's Colossus might be a little bit of a surprise. We do see a 3rd CC finally, and SKillous, of course, knows everything that's going on because of these... Or because of the Observer Vision. Now we have 2 medevacs with the bio, +1 about to finish, and we do see this follow-up push. It's a little bit weaker than the first push, the initial push, which tells us a lot about how much damage HeRoMaRinE kind of had to get done there. We're equal in workers, I would say, but SKillous still behind in worker supply. You can see that 3rd barracks really helping HeRoMaRinE with his army count. 3rd CC halfway done, and we see 2 extra barracks being added on, and even a factory now with the reactor, so also going to be seeing some Widow mines. 3rd base is up and running for SKillous, though, so if SKillous stays alive here, he will have a nice economic advantage, especially if he takes these gases. He'll have way more gas than HeRoMaRinE. But HeRoMaRinE is putting on consistent pressure here. Do see 6 Stalkers in the main, ready to intercept a drop here. But SKillous doesn't see anything as of yet. Does see a Widow Mine drop in his 3rd now. Only gets 1 probe. Only 1 probe. And 2 more probes. So, minor damage being done, and 4 medevacs boost on into the main base. Stalkers are ready for it, though. Clean up a medevac right away. Clean up a secondary medevac. Almost half of the units that were inside of those medevacs died. But enough bio is here with +1. Immediate stim up and just kill all of the gateway units and the Colossus. Massive damage being done here by HeRoMaRinE. Even at Artosis pylon that could be a target later on. Now the secondary Colossus and an Immortal are here to do some cleanup, but not after losing 25 probes. Which, honestly, that's devastating. And SKillous sees the secondary attack coming in. He's like, I can't defend this base. Oh, you see the attacks from the units that we can't see anymore. And HeRoMaRinE takes game number 1. And Big Gabe takes the first game versus SKillous in this best of 5. HeRoMaRinE, of course, always a favorite in the Homestory Cup for multitudes of reasons. And we are here on Radhuset Station, which, honestly, I kind of forgot that this was a map. Because I don't think we've seen it in all of the Homestory Cup games that I've cast. Maybe in, like, Group A or something? Like, we haven't seen this map for a hot minute. Like, we saw Bly play this map a lot, but that's about it. So, I'm glad we're seeing it. I'm glad we're getting a reminder that this map also exists. So let's see what the players will do with this special map. Of course, this weird 3rd base that you mine these minerals out pretty quick, and then you have a pretty safe pocket base with, like, this back space is so weird. You can only really get rid of it as the defender. I guess you could try as the attacker, but, like, how and why? And I don't see a way. There's, like, double-layered minerals, double-layered destructible debris, terrible surface area. Like, as a Zerg player, I don't see how you get through that. Maybe as a Terran player, like, you can shoot this with Marines or Marauders, and then... But you could also just have medevacs. So then that leaves Protoss to maybe bust through this with, like, a proxy robo. I could see that, I guess. I could see that, yeah. Next time I play Protoss on this map, I'm gonna proxy robo and try to kill these rocks with my first immortal. And it's gonna go terrible. But we will try. Now we see HeRoMaRinE going for a Reaper into Reactor. And... Oh, is he? He's going for 3rd CC before Factory, so completely switching it up. There we go. Instead of that super fast Factory after CC, he goes for triple CC before even considering a Factory. And probably going to be making a bunch of Marines from that Reactor in the meantime. Adept is at home here to make sure that this Reaper does not get any kills. Stargate is out and HeRoMaRinE knows about it. So no surprises will be coming towards HeRoMaRiNE's base in the near future. So both players kind of switching up. Skillous going for Stargate instead of a Twilight Console. And HeRoMaRinE going for 3CC 3 barracks play instead of a fast factory and staying on 2 bases for a long time. Now, that's kind of cool. He is making the CC over here, though, kind of telling me that he wants to float it over there. Maybe he wants to keep this around and then he makes another base on location. That's a super fast 4 orbital build. That could be super cool. It's pretty defendable, I would assume. Now we do see Oracle coming out, almost done. Twilight Console also being added on, no Forge. So I guess we're going to see some Blink play here. Because it's just so standard, so solid, which is what makes it standard. One Adept does get into the main base, or natural base, does get one SCV kill, might get a Marine kill. Actually, the Shade was cancelled. This Adept is going to fight to the death. And the Oracle actually arrives for some air support. And now... 2 Marines are not enough. Oh my god, Adept almost gets surrounded. More Marines join back in. This Adept, dude. How is it still alive? 3 kills. And 4 on the Cyclone, but most of them were Marines. 4 Marine kills, I think. Yes, 4 Marine kills. Oh, Billy does get the kill on that Adept. And SKillous also now scouts what's going on. He sees that, wow, 3 barracks and a 3rd CC already? Where's that factory? No secondary gas? Engineering bay and a factory coming out now. And this is way more Marines than you expect from most Terrans to have. So let's see how SKillous prepares for that. SKillous does have that 3rd base upper. Look at this. Look at all these health bars. This is so weird. So many destructible rocks. Nice pylon here to make sure that he sees any drop go into his main base. And we see shield battery, couple stalkers, and a sentry for a possible force field or guardian shield. Although this early on in the game, I would expect a force field. Double missile turret coming down. Finally a factory. 2 more barracks being added on. So 5 barracks before... Well, basically at the same time as starting the starport. Imagine having 5 barracks before even starting a medevac. And now the 3rd base does fly over to this location. HeRoMaRinE is like, I'm not even gonna try and understand what this weird base is all about. You should have vetoed it. Couple Stim Marines trying to get something done, but Blink Stalkers are pretty good at running away from Stim Marines, and as soon as they've stimmed once, I think you get 2-shot Marines at that point. Maybe it's a 3-shot, but they become a whole lot weaker as soon as Stim ends. Oh, another Stim coming out, and of course the Blink Stalkers just get on out of there. And HeRoMaRinE has to be very wary of these Stalkers hunting down his Marines. But if SKillous blinks forward to try and catch these Marines, they can suddenly turn around and stim for the win. And suddenly you lose a bunch of Stalkers there. Stalkers kind of get surrounded from both sides. And now double medevac is coming out, so these Bio units will be very healthy once again. SKillous does note where the third base has been placed, so he knows where to concentrate his aggression. It's kind of weird, like, if you take this base, these stalkers can literally do nothing. Then the stalkers are just walking up this ramp. Because where can the stalkers get in? Literally nowhere. We do have a fourth base for SKillous already. Dude, SKillous is peaking right now. We see a Robo is out as well. Double Robo. Whoa, double Rainbow. So, going to make double Robo Colossus, but they are not out yet, and HeRoMaRinE is already knocking on the door. Making a supply depot, making sure you can see any Warp Prism or Oracle sneaking into his main base. But we do have +1 out here, and SKillous is kind of like hit with an anti-timing here. He's starting new upgrades right now. Is getting charged, though, and HeRoMaRinE is actually kind of turning around. He thinks, I've forced enough units. First 3 sentries, bunch of zealots. But I feel like SKillous could have taken a lot of damage there. The reinforcements do arrive, though, and HeRoMaRiNE's army looking even scarier than just now. His army supply is slightly higher than SKillous's army supply, like 16 more, almost 20 more. We do see a Ghost Academy coming out, and a fourth base being constructed as well. These minerals are now being mined out. And HeRoMaRiNE is on the move, again on the map, checking if there's a fifth base there. And now he's at the fourth base. We do have a singular Colossus already. No Colossus range, though. So this bio army, oh my god, the battery gets targeted down right away. No nuclear battery. Nice force fields, making sure that these Colossus can get their damage in. This is one of mine. Might get a second shot off, and it will be a juicy one. But for now, HeRoMaRiNE has to retreat. 2 Colossus is a little bit too much to contend with. Especially after stimming once already, and all of his units are now in the orange. If all of those units were in the green, he might have continued fighting, but oh my lord, we have a big one. We see a Warp Prism warping with a lot of charge zealots here in the third base or fourth base from HeRoMaRiNE. And that Warp Prism isn't done yet in the middle of the map. SKillous is also pushing out, so he's definitely has a war on 2 fronts. Charge zealots are in the natural, charge zealots in the main, and the rest of the army approaching the third base. Oh my god, so many SCVs going down. These Widow Mines did soften up all of their charge zealots, but did not kill them. Oh my god, this one Warp Prism. 250 minerals nowadays. Can you believe that it used to be only 200? This mineral field hasn't even been mined out yet. And SKillous has taken a 5th one. 5th base underway for the Protoss here, and now transitioning into double Disruptor. Another Warp Prism is done. I wouldn't be surprised if he just adds on a 3rd Robo at some point. Only running off of 4 gases so far. So he's going pure charge zealots and Robo units right now. Making sure that he has as many of them as possible. We actually see these Immortals coming out as well. I'm really liking the kind of late game Immortals that are being added on by Protoss players. We're like, at some point they just kind of have 4 to 5 Immortals in their army. And they are just, they're just good units. They're very good at dealing with these higher Marauder counts that Terrans sometimes favor versus Protoss units, especially because the concussive grenades really slow down Disruptors when they are trying to get away. Oh my, what? Oh, it's... Whoa, I didn't know this. This is one giant destructible debris. I thought you had to kill all of these individually. But as you can see, they are linked. You learn something every day, dude. I could have cheesed so many people with this. Suddenly this is kind of okay with just Zerglings and a couple drones. You just make a hatchery over here or on the gold. You just mine out these minerals. You kill this with Zerglings. That could have been great. Should have tested it. It's my fault. Big fight happening in the middle there. Nice target fire by HeRoMaRinE there. Targeting down one of these disruptors, and we saw from Clem versus Harstem in the previous video that it's all about those disruptor. Keeping this disruptor count low enough that the Protoss can't fire more than one disruptor ball at a time, so you can actually kind of run in and snipe a couple units before you have to run back and heal up with the medevacs and force the Protoss to replenish these expensive robo units. And there you go, the concussive grenade slowing down the Immortal, and the Immortal doesn't have blink, and there was no Warp Prism to pick it up. A lot of Charge Cells coming in. These zombies are lusting for brains. And HeRoMaRinE actually picking up his entire army, taking the risk. Only 6 Blink Stalkers there to punish that move. Dude, how many Charge Zealots? 33 Charge Zealots. It's like he thinks he's playing Zerg and just making Zerglings. I guess they could be on the same hotkey. Oh my god, he's even mining it out. Yes! SKillous! Oh my god, doesn't need no Warp Prism to run. Oh, Widowmine, very much value. That Widowmine just killed probes, but he didn't expect to be doing that. Like, he wasn't quite hired for that job. Like, most Widowmines we see in this matchup do blow up a lot of probes, but this Widowmine was not expecting to do that from his, well, 3rd base, I guess, 4th base. Oh, EMP's blanket the army of SKillous, and even though he's a pretty big... Oh! Disruptor hit barely off the mark. How many disruptors do we have on the map? We only have 1, so HeRoMaRinE has been doing a very good job of thinning out the count, and now we see a big recall here from SKillous and immediate target down from HeRoMaRinE on that disruptor, recognizing that indeed that is the most important unit for me to hit. We see another Warp Prism coming in, but to no avail. A turret and a Widowmine completely blow that up. Another big Warpin in the main would completely annihilate the main base of HeRoMaRinE, or at least force all of these units to probably go back, because I don't see a lot of reinforcements anywhere. And you have cheeky Widowmines, like this one was over here just now, making sure. Oh my god, so many Charge Zealots. I don't need no disruptors if I have infinite Charge Zealots. And if you have enough Charge Zealots, then the first ones charge, and then they get slowed, but then the next ones charge. And then because they're slow, they kind of like kite themselves back in a way. Which is, more Charge Zealots is literally better because of that. Because if you just have enough Charge Zealots, they can never kill them fast enough, and they can keep charging. Which, if you only have 8, they charge once, get slowed, and then they just kind of die. We have 2 disruptors now. Oh my god, they get charged or targeted down by both of these Immortals. Look at the concussive grenades! No Warp Prism there to save them. And even if there were Warp Prisms, we have a couple Vikings just in case. I think we do have 2 Colossus, yep, coming out to reinforce this army. And of course, 2 Colossus do pretty well before they eventually go down to the 3 Vikings. And if you can get a couple shots in with your Blink Stalkers, you can even kill the Vikings, and then your Colossus are almost impossible to kill for the Terran player. So I think they are considered massive units. They don't get slowed by concussive grenade. Or do they? No, they do. I'm thinking about Ultras, but Ultras have this weird passive that they just don't get slowed. HeRoMaRinE does take down a base of SKillous. I think that was like his 6th base. 7th base here on the high ground. Couple cannons. Put 2 High Templar there. You have a Brood War base. But that never quite caught on. Dude, these Widowmines keep getting shots off, but finally there is an opening now. SKillous has been sending probes over there for the last 3 minutes, trying to mine out these minerals. Do have a Warp Prism now with the army. And SKillous running in with his big Charge Zealot army. We do finally see some Liberators coming down, but they have no chance to siege right now. Or Ghost here, ready to blanket down the army with EMP. And EMP is, of course, very effective versus Protoss because it removes all of the shields, which is... well, it's just a better storm at that point. But, of course, it can't quite kill units. Oh, HeRoMaRinE actually being pushed back into his natural base here. Colossus staying behind, hitting some random orbitals. So this biopack trading very effectively. And HeRoMaRinE with the defensive advantage here. Could muster a comeback. Oh my god. There were Zealots and Dark Templar in the main base, destroying half of the mineral line in the main base that was still remaining. Sorry that I missed that. But SKillous just cleans up the natural. Makes sure that the third base has to lift. The fourth base is still alive though, which is kind of HeRoMaRiNE's leash on life. The War Prism that did sneak in somehow, some way. Even the Observer missed it. Has been dealt with. Oh my god, look at the arc, look at all of this Protoss, and look at the War Prism Micro as well. HeRoMaRiNE on his last legs. I'm not sure if he can do it. He has no energy on his medevacs. And SKillous, after taking about half the map, and really abusing this back door, I really enjoyed that. Like, I was expecting HeRoMaRiNE to just kind of bolster it down, just bunker down and be like, yep, you can't attack there ever. But SKillous really did a good job of opening up this path, making sure that this area was relevant to the map, getting these War Prisms into his base. And then HeRoMaRiNE can't just focus on this area, right? He can't focus on his 5th and his 3rd. No, he has to focus on his back base as well. And that really gave SKillous a lot of opportunities in this base, even taking the gold base in the end. SKillous takes game number 2. And we're all tied 1-1 in this best of 5 between SKillous and HeRoMaRiNE. SKillous sending out a super fast probe here. And I'll try to ramble a little bit less at the end of games, because I can also just talk about the last game at the start of the next one. Let's see what HeRoMaRiNE does. I mean, it's so early in the game that nothing has been happening, but there's already a probe here. SKillous like, hello, I'm gonna block your barracks? But HeRoMaRiNE don't care. Just throws it down immediately, builds a gas. And SKillous, I'm not sure what this super early probe is trying to accomplish, other than making sure that there's no proxy going on. He also knows that there's no super fast double gas, so like this would make sense if he was going, for example, Nexus first, or even just Gate Nexus. Because then you're being a little greedy, but maybe you can still kind of make some adjustments if you see a particular build coming out of HeRoMaRiNE. But HeRoMaRiNE not fazed at all by this probe scout. He's like, yeah, you waste your mining time on my side of the map. I'll just do the thing I'm always doing. 2 SUVs trying to get this probe to leave. Yo, we just want to build a CC here, brother. Get out of here. Probe, again, affirming us that they are the most annoying worker in StarCraft. Bar none. There is literally no other worker that comes close to being as annoying as a probe. Do have a factory coming down. Actually, no Reaper going down. Okay, HeRoMaRiNE. 1 Marine into an immediate reactor for the factory. Secondary gas being added on. So, we can smell a Widowmine drop coming up, maybe. I'm always going to just predict Widowmine drops, because I'll be right at least 50% of the time. Do see this 1 Adept, and of course it is waiting for a Reaper that's not coming. But SKillous doesn't know that. Shade does go out. That's a cute trick to make sure that you can stay in position as long as possible. And then he shades across the map. The shade is of course slightly faster than the unit itself. So it's the most efficient way of pathing your Adept. So the most efficient way is basically always shading forward and then sending your Adept into a random direction. Then you scout the most of the map. Adept did get a decent scout off. Sees everything, actually. Tries to get this 1 SCV. No! And it shades on out of there. The Hellion, though, doesn't want to cross paths with the Adept, so goes another way. And this is something we see a lot. If you didn't make a Reaper, you probably want to make a Hellion, because it's another fast unit that can get in there and get yourself a Scout. It's definitely cheaper than a Scan. And you don't need the factory time as much anyways. Oh my god, going for a Hellion drop instead of a Widowmine drop. We've seen this before on this map specifically. I think it was Baby Marine versus For Yumi that did that in Group D. Group C. Another Blink Opener coming out from SKillous, making sure that he can kind of deal with anything that the Terran can throw at him. And we see players equal supply. SKillous slightly up in workers, but Terran, of course, has the mules. The Marines are here, and no stim, though. It's just naked Marines, and they get picked up. 2 Adepts and 3 Stalkers are enough. No Reaper here to open the entrance for those Hellions to do a run by. These Hellions are just going to chill here. Might find a probe there. You know, you can check. 2 extra barracks being added on now. Ooh, we see a Siege Tank and a Raven. Now, we haven't seen these units from HeRoMaRinE come out yet in this series. So, interesting to see what he's going to do with that. I guess he's just going to go for Stim and +1 in combat shield before he moves out again. He isn't making any units that you would want to put in a medevac either. So, it seems a little risky to go for a drop with Stimless Marines, no combat shields either, versus Blink Stalker. You know, they just can't defend themselves. Do see a pretty fast Robo, but only for 2 observers so far. Do see the robotic support bay coming out as well, so we're going to be seeing... Oh, the Hellions actually got in. And they will kill 0 probes. Yeah. Well, if you know that beforehand, you kind of want to keep your Hellions alive, and then you can maybe push with them. Make them into Hellbats, or run them into the 3rd base when you attack the natural, or something like that. But of course, now he does get his scouting, so that's invaluable information. Or it's not invaluable, but it is very valuable. No 3rd CC from Big Gabe coming out again. I think it's so interesting to see that sometimes these Terrans just make that 3rd CC before the factory even. And then sometimes they're like, nah, I'm just going to make a big chunky army and use that to put you in your place, and then I'll build a 3rd base after, maybe even on location. I like that both of those styles exist in the matchup. That's just very cool. And some Terrans will favor one over the other, which is kind of like a stylistic choice, but maybe also a map choice. Do you see one Colossus already out, 2nd one being constructed, but it is rallied across the map, so let's hope that doesn't happen. These Stalkers again in position to see this army moving out, and this Siege Tank has already taken more than half of its damage. Or more than half of its health bar in damage from these 3 to 4 Stalkers. So very nice play here by SKillous. Ooh, nice swipes with the Colossus as well. Kills a couple Marines. Now the army is here. What are these probes doing? Oh, Raven harassment as well. Guardian shield comes out and a nuclear battery. SKillous wants to take this attack down, and both of the siege tanks tried to siege up, but HeRoMaRinE did not want to stand and fight. Oh my god. Widowmine actually got a shot off. This Raven got 5 kills. And these auto turrets are goddamn annoying, especially if you don't have a Stargate. Like, what do you do against them? They just sit in the corner like, gotta put some auto turrets in your mineral line. What are you gonna do about it? Every time I'm gonna do it, you're going to be as distracted, and suddenly I'm attacking with my bio army. There's gonna be Widowmine drops. There's gonna be a Liberator that I set and forgot. It's gonna be fun for me. Yeah, Terran is fun. 3rd base on location, as discussed, did just complete. And SKillous does have an extra base, but HeRoMaRinE can now finally also utilize a 3rd base, but HeRoMaRinE is... Oh my god, that was a decent hit by that Widowmine. Killed a Stalker and 4 probes. And kills another Stalker. No Blink Micro can save you, little buddy. The Bio runs into the third base, kills a pylon, and runs out again. The scan revealing that, that's 2 Colossi. That's no fun. I don't want to play with that. Where did the Raven go, actually? Did it die? No, it did not. It's just chilling over a pylon. They're becoming friends. We have a Doom Drop here. Dum 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 da dum. And it's not a Doom Drop anymore. It didn't even get spotted or anything. HeRoMaRinE just kind of decided, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Maybe he's hoping that HeRoMaRinE or that SKillous saw it on the map with a or an observer. And he's just making SKillous kind of paranoid. Where's the army? Where's HeRoMaRinE's army? Where did the Raven go? Raven is now at the army. I like that. I was about to say, if the Raven is at the army, he can really clean up those observers from the map, and then he can make SKillous very paranoid. Now, we do see a couple of chargelets coming out, and these chargelets were very successful in game number 2 of gaining SKillous a lot of momentum in that match. And they are doing a cute little run by here. Reinforcements are actually stimming away into the third base where more charge zealots are. And oh my god, HeRoMaRinE feels forced to make a move here with his entire army. We have 5 Vikings targeting down these Colossus, but we have a shield battery and Guardian shield making sure that these Colossus can't die at all. And in the meanwhile, the Bio had to kite back. We see the Medivacs are boosting back, but oh my god, these charge zealots still wreaking havoc here. The reinforcements were not enough to clean them up. Now 9 SCVs have already died. The army is still in the orange, so the Medivacs still kind of need to do their work. The charge zealots still wreaking havoc here. There is a 4th CC for HeRoMaRinE, but he's kind of on the back foot now. Trailing in supply to SKillous right now. This Widow Mine, though, is gonna get cleaned up by that observer. Or by some units with the vision of the observer. And SKillous actually kind of taking his foot off the gas a little bit. Probably waiting for these double disruptors to join his army before he makes another move. But HeRoMaRinE is taking this time to take a 4th base, whilst SKillous taking a 5th base of his own. We do see a bunker being added on here by HeRoMaRinE, finally kind of putting some respect on those charge zealot run-bys. 4th base, oh my god, big blink onto the CC there. It's not a PF yet, so it can still fly away. And how the disruptors are joining the army. We see one over here, the other one is still chilling over there. DT Shrine as well. So we're gonna see some Dark Templar being added on into those charge zealot run-bys in the future. Might even see Blink DTs as well, because a couple Blink DTs on top of a PF do a really good job of making it disappear. PF now almost done, giving HeRoMaRinE a little bit more defensive capability at his 4th base. We see a 3rd Robo being added. Double upgrades about to finish, giving SKillous a 1 upgrade lead. Oh, that disruptor slightly out of position. Gets punished immediately. That's a lot of Marauders. 21 Marauders on the field with 10 Vikings. So these Colossus becoming kind of killable. That's what they're becoming. Because if these Colossus headbutt into these 10 Vikings, they will probably fall almost immediately. Now, HeRoMaRinE about to even up the upgrades and about to max out. So HeRoMaRinE is in this game. It felt a little bit precarious when SKillous was pushing him back and he didn't have a 4th base yet, but now he's maxed. He got the units. He got a Ghost Academy as well, adding those on into his army. How many ghosts do we have already? 4 ghosts. So we have good EMPs coming out as well. So this is anyone's game right now. Both players on 2-2 upgrades. See a couple Marines coming out, and HeRoMaRinE on the move. He has enough ghosts where he feels like this is a good power spike. I got these ghosts, making sure that I can blanket your army and drain your shield batteries, either by hitting them with the EMP, or just hitting the units that will then be replenished by the shield battery. Just one HeRoMaRinE with 3 health, doing his job. The probe could have killed it if it wasn't so afraid of the guns. Now we see 6 disruptors here. Very hard to go up this ramp for HeRoMaRinE at any stage of the game now. We do see Blink DT, doubled through 3 underway for SKillous as well. Also maxed, both players getting a bank here. So kind of approaching a cute, super late game. Do see the 6 base for SKillous going down. This DT really slicing and dicing, walks into range of the scam, but it is to no avail. These DTs do so much damage. Couple swipes almost already makes them worth it, but if they do get EMP'd, they of course become visible, which is why you don't see them a lot in the main army versus Terran. You usually mostly see them do stuff like this. Do some run-bys. And with Blink, he could actually take out this turret and then do a lot to this PF. Now HeRoMaRinE also trying to establish a 5th base and really catapult himself past the late game. 3-3 underway, more Ghost, but no Liberators just yet. 6th base here underway for SKillous. And again, look at the amount of gases that he doesn't have. He has 5 gases in total. So really running on a lot of Charged Zealots. He just wants minerals and pump them into Charged Zealots and run them at his opponent. Oh, decent hit with the Disruptor Balls there. More coming out, and the supply of HeRoMaRinE plummeting super hard there. As SKillous denies the 5th base, but also puts a big dent into the army of HeRoMaRinE, and his supply is just evaporating. SKillous, is he going to take the lead in this best of 5? Arguably against the favorite, SKillous takes the second game for him in this best of 5 versus HeRoMaRinE. I'm not sure what happened. I think that those were just too big of disruptor hits. I don't know why we can still see the Colossus, but none of the other units. StarCraft 2 is a little weird sometimes. And SKillous takes the lead in this best of 5, now on match point versus Big Gabe. And we are here on Alcyone, just that map with that gold base and the Ridge Geyser. We don't forget about that one. And I'm quite impressed actually, like Hecate, or yeah, Hecate. That map has a weird name. The previous map. SKillous just kind of rolled him. He just played solid and took very good fights, got up to that critical mass of disruptors, and HeRoMaRinE was never in an economical position to really punish that. Where he invested into a pretty big army early on, but he was stifled by, well, just the positioning of SKillous, making sure that it was very hard for HeRoMaRinE to get any damage done. The Hellion run-by didn't do that much damage. And the Raven was pretty cute, but then with his army, he could never really run up that ramp to assault the 3rd base, because there was always a shield battery there, a sentry, and the first Colossus was there very early, 2nd Colossus inbound. And from that moment, it was very hard for HeRoMaRinE to get the good trades. And then he had to fall back, get a 3rd base of his own, and then he was kind of playing catch-up the whole game, for the entirety of the game. And then he did max out. But then SKillous just got one really good, devastating fight where HeRoMaRinE just lost a few too many units. 2 disruptors didn't quite get the EMPs that he needed. And, I mean, the overwhelming mass of zealots is just, like, it really feels like a zombie movie sometimes, where it's just the horde is coming to sweep over your town. And you will not be happy. Adept being chrono boosted out again for SKillous. He is just doing the same opener that we've seen from him. We see a Reaper into a factory here from HeRoMaRinE. And again, taking those 2 gases just to get up to that 100 minerals, and then taking out a gas so that he has 16 SCVs on minerals, so that then after that he can get that CC really fast. And we see a Cyclone coming out of HeRoMaRinE. Not really using the Reaper to do some scouting. I mean, he does see the Adept, and now he runs away from it. But HeRoMaRinE doesn't see anything. Has no scouting at all. Oh, 2 Reapers. Oh, I missed that. So he made a secondary Reaper. And of course, 2 Reapers can clean up an Adept pretty effectively. Adept takes no hull damage, though. Only shield damage. And we see a secondary and a 3rd barracks being added on, so we're going to see a lot of Marines again with fast upgrades. This factory just going to be making add-ons for the Terran barracks. Oh, this Adept, nice positioning. Reapers don't want to run into that Adept. And the Reapers run around. Oh, does this block? It actually blocks. Look at that back Reaper. It wants to move, but it can't. Oh, okay. That is cool. I'd never seen that. Two Reapers. Now, trying to get some scouting done. We know there's a natural, and that's a good start. And immediately, Adept making sure that these Reapers have to leave. Sure, you can run through, but you don't know if there's extra units. And also, you're gonna lose at least 1 Reaper if you meet an Adept. Now we have Phoenix on deck here from SKillous. Going Phoenix, Colossus, I presume, with that Robo coming up. And 2 of them are already across the map. Oh my god, they find the Reaper, lift him up, and he meets his demise. Now we do have a Cyclone here. A Cyclone is a very nice tool to be used against these Phoenix builds, because they can lock on and the leash range is pretty big. So as long as you keep vision, you can do pretty good damage to the Phoenix. And if you have enough Marines, they can never really lift up the Cyclone. And since there's no cooldown anymore on the lock-on, I feel like back in the day you could lift it up and immediately drop it again, and then just to reset the lock-on, and then it couldn't shoot your Phoenix anymore. But now the lock-on has pretty much no cooldown. I believe it doesn't have a cooldown, basically. So it's different now. You never really want to lift up a Cyclone unless you know you can kill it. And the Phoenix are here in the natural. And Gabe is ignoring this. He's going to take this SCV damage on the chin, because he wants to deliver a big punch of his own. 4 SCVs do fall to these Phoenix because they didn't have a lot of energy there. Phoenix become scarier and scarier the more you add on. Oh, Big Daddy Immortal is here with his shotgun hands and a shield battery, 3 force or sentries. So HeRoMaRinE kind of gambiting off a couple SCVs to get across the map. Didn't really get something done, and now we see a 3rd base going down. If HeRoMaRinE had known about this, he would have probably, like, made sure that this could not happen. Like, he would have just been standing there, killed this pylon, make sure that SKillous needs an additional warp in before he can really take that 3rd base, or at least that 1 Colossus should be out on the map, or the Phoenix should have to return. Like, something had to happen for SKillous to take this 3rd base, but it was kind of gifted to him a little bit earlier. Now we do see +1 attack almost completing. We see some Vikings coming out. We do have 2 medevacs already, so HeRoMaRinE could be moving out soon. Oh, he does reveal stim a little late there. I like, when he didn't stim right away, I was like, oh, he's hiding the fact that he's stim because he's gonna move out right now. And then he stims anyways. Oh, this Adept gets targeted down. A couple nice hits on the medevacs from those Phoenix. Softening up the medevacs is, of course, not that bad. Hallucination sketch. Oh my god. Double starport has been revealed. So SKillous knows. He knows that there is an attack going to be coming in, because this 2-base Terran is trying to make 4 Vikings at a time. He has stim, he has +1. I wouldn't even be surprised if we pulled boys, because this is kind of an all-in, right? Like, I don't see a 3rd base coming after this unless you do enough damage. such a big investment to go for this. And the army supply of HeRoMaRinE is pretty big here. Let's see if SKillous can defend. We have 2 Colossus on deck. We have a couple sentries. We have 1 shield battery. And a couple force fields are already out. Look at the Guardian shields. The Vikings don't really want to shoot at units that are in Guardian shields, which is why HeRoMaRinE is retreating away from them. And now the Guardian shields stop working. Oh my god, double medevac drop, but the Phoenixes are here! And the drop does go off. These Vikings escort the Marines and the Marauders and the medevacs into the main base. And now, look at this units. These units need to go all the way around to get back into the main base. And we see a hot pickup, and the rest of the army is on top of the 3rd base. The rest of the medevacs do join that force, but oh my god, the nuclear battery keeping alive everything here. And HeRoMaRinE, all of his units are so orange, only has 2 medevacs to try and heal those up. We see a secondary wave coming out. Still no 3rd base, but also no boys. 2 Marauders just chilling. Oh my god, and SKillous actually pouncing on this weaker army before the secondary army arrives. Very nice move here by SKillous, and because of how the map works, you actually can't join your own army. Look at that! There's just a big wall. All of these units are so red. And now I think, oh my god, actually shoots his way out. Kind of like a Western movie. Oh my god, this is so many Vikings though. 12 Vikings and 12 Marauders. And now HeRoMaRinE moving out, trying to get that 3rd base. Big recall here. The whole army is here. There are Guardian shields once again. And here come the boys, the last ditch effort. SKillous has been defending so well that HeRoMaRinE couldn't get any damage done. Nice shots by the Vikings. Nice. Finally gets a little bit of damage done. Two Colossus have already died. Only 1 more. And SKillous, is he abandoning his 3rd base? He might know how in a precarious situation he is. And now the boys are pulled. I don't know if he's seen them, but he sees them now. And HeRoMaRinE, his SCVs will prove worthy or not. 1 Colossus in the back. Lots of charge cylinders coming out. A couple of them are stuck there. This is, of course, a dangerous choke for SKillous to put himself in. But he also doesn't want to give up this position to HeRoMaRinE. We do have 1 battery. No nuclear battery just of yet. It might be on cooldown still. We do have 1 disruptor. It goes off. It gets targeted down. And no Purification Novak connects with any of the bio units. And look at the army supply of HeRoMaRinE, but he has no SCVs to tank anymore. The final Colossus does go down. All of his units are in the red. I would not be surprised if the Vikings land now. But now HeRoMaRinE is fighting up a ramp, uses one of his precious scans, and now is forcing his way up this ramp, but all of his units are so red. If these Archons get any hits in, it's going to be so ugly. And all of a sudden, his army supply is kind of dwindling. These Marines are just dying as soon as an Archon shoots his shot. And when these Vikings aren't hitting mechanical units, then they aren't winning. And just like that, SKillous takes the series. He just won over HeRoMaRinE. 3-1. Pretty darn convincingly. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys for the semifinals, which is Cyril going up against Raynor. And we got Clem going up against SKillous. I'll see you there. Cheers.